What's good, YouTube? Cardfight King here, AQUA Life Baby. You already know how it is. So I'm going to do two different videos, guys. This video is going to be a tournament report from locals tournament we had Monday. And then the next video, which is going to follow that one right afterwards, is going to be on the ban list, or not ban list, restriction list, because Bushiroad doesn't ban anything. And what I think it means for the future of the game, and how Bushiroad does his darndest to alienate the player base and just make Vanguard a game that you don't really want to invest your hard-earned money in. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about later. I'll link you guys in that video. I'll link you guys to my boy Mason from Science of Vanguard, who talked about restriction list, and my boy Juan Mango, who made a video after a long time, and he talked about his complaints about pretty much a lot of his complaints about Bushiroad. He didn't really go into the list so much. He went into, what they were, supposed to give us and how they've done the tournaments and everything like that. But you'll see in that video. So, as far as our tournament report, I haven't played in a local tournament, which is our Mondays at HQ Games, Ellicott City. I haven't played at the local tournament since August of last year. Reason being is I wanted to kind of detach myself a bit, take myself a little bit away, and focus on school. It's my first semester at University of Maryland College Park, so I definitely wanted to get that full school experience. And just it's always good to take a break here and there. So took a break. Still playing the Dynasty Cups. Don't worry, still playing the Dynasty Cups, obviously. But took a break from some local tournaments, and then yeah, but played in my first local tournament after a long time. Round one, I played against Pale Moon. The player I played against was a player that I remember when he first started the game. He's a good kid, very good kid. Him and his brother, his mom, all love him. Great people. Remember when he first started with Kagro, and me being a veteran player, just watching, watching your birds grow, so to speak, and then leave the nest is really nice. And now, I think he's found his niche with Pale Moons, which is what I face, and you can call it rust, you can call it whatever, but he beat my ass. He 2-0'd me with his Hari Magia Pale Moon deck. Both games pretty much went the same, and this is another complaint I have, which I'll show in the other video, but I feel like the Stride generation really is kind of really was done kind of wrong, and nowadays decks have certain decks just have such explosive first stride turns that your opponent is heavily crippled, and then they can't recover and get to at least get to their second stride. But that's besides the point. So I mean, game one, that's what happened. He strode first, got off like 6 attacks. Yeah, he was sacking me a bit. He hit a lot of damage triggers on defense and was hitting some clutch heal triggers and crit triggers on offense as well. But I was pushed to 4 or 5 damage. I strode Commander Thavis, got off an explosive turn, put him to 5, but I couldn't finish him off. And then by his next stride, he was able to he was able to deal the killing blow on his next stride. Then game two pretty much came down to I was able to go into Lambros after G guarding and preventing too much damage from his first stride turn again. But with Lambros, I was able to put him to 5, but I wasn't able to kill him. He had triple G Guardians, and I've told you guys as many times that I believe that G Guardians have ineffectively really put a damper on Aqua Force itself. It really does. When you your the Lambros turn used to be a 2 to 3 card drop that your opponent have to do, but now they can just G guard and drop one card to guard, attack that they used to drop 2 to 3 cards for. Aqua Force has a lot of small poke attacks, and we're about hand control, controlling our opponent's hand, forces them to guard where they don't want to guard, and just getting rid of their cards in their hand. But G Guardians have made it a lot easier to guard Aqua Force's attacks. So there's that. Now, but yeah, so that's pretty much what happened. Triple G guard, couldn't do much. Round 2, I played against my teammate playing his usual Gear Chronicle deck. I was able to actually 2-0 his Chrono Jet Gear Chronicles. He did get the Melon Loop on me, off on me both games, but game 1 I was able to pressure him pretty heavily in the early game. Tidal Assault really came through, obviously, and I was able to he did stride first, but he didn't go into Metallica Phoenix. I think he went to Fate Rider, and I was able to block. I was able to survive somewhat of the Melon Loop. Then I was able to come back on my turn, on my Commander Thavis turn. After, not even Commander Thavis, I went to Lambros right after G guarding and was able to finish him off thanks to the pressure I got off early game to put him at about 4 damage, put him right in that little kill range, especially since he didn't drive check a heal trigger. I had a pretty good feeling about him not having a G guard in hand to do what he needed to do with, so it was pretty awesome. And then game two, I tried to I executed pretty much the same strategy, but we did play the grade 1 game a bit. Then I was able to stride first because I had enough hand advantage, and I was able to build up enough field advantage that I forced him to ride to 3 first, and I was able to go into Commander Thavis, get off a really nice explosive play with Commander Thavis. I survived again. He did go into Fate Rider again, and I was able to survive the Melon Loop. I did go to 5 from the Melon Loop, but after the Melon Loop, I was able to come back. I went into Wailing Thavis. I was able to put him to 5 damage, and he had enough cards in hand. It was that situation where a Lambros turn he would have been able to guard, but a Wailing Thavis turn was going to give me the best chance of winning in that moment, and I was able to put him to 5. I swung with Wailing Thavis for about 46. He didn't have enough to guard 46, and I was able to win that one. And then round 3, we only had 3 rounds because not too many people signed up. Round 3 was the final round, played against Luard Shadow Paladins, Luard Diablo. I was able to win that one 2-1. Game 1, I executed the same strategy I did against Gear Chronicles. I pressured him really early and put him to about that 4-3 damage range. Then I was able to go into Commander Thavis, push him to 5 at least, and then when I was able to go into Lambros. He did Carnivore Dragon me, but I was able to definitely build up a lot of advantage from Melania getting me those nice draws, and I had set up my field so that I wouldn't get Diabloed. Then I played. Game two, my board kept getting clear. I kept drawing into my triggers. I really couldn't push him as hard. I really couldn't finish pushing him. I didn't draw into a grade 1 or a grade 2 when I needed to, in order so I could go into Wailing Thavis and actually finish him off when he was at 5. And he did have a PG in hand, so it really kind of sucked for me because I couldn't really stride, couldn't do anything. And then the game just went on. I ended up getting Diablo because I didn't have a field. And then game three, pretty much, I blitzed him early. Was able to just get off the early game once again. Put him up to 4. He rode grade 3 first. Then I went to Commander Thavis. I put him to 5. Off the Commander Thavis turn. He did go into Carnivore Dragon, whatever it is, but I was able to perfect guard block that turn, and then I went into Wailing Thavis for my went into Wailing Thavis, and since he was at 5 damage, he only had 3 cards in hand. I really did secure the game there, even before the Wailing Thavis attack. So overall, went 2-3. I didn't do the tiebreakers. The one I lost to on the first round, I think he lost a key game, round 3, which causes both not to top for whatever it is. So, Yeah. Tiebreakers, whatever. So I was mad at the fact I didn't top. Despite me understanding why, despite me having a positive record, even though it was only 3 rounds, having a positive record and still not topping is always something that's going to put a little salt in your mouth. But you know, nothing you could do about it at the end of the day. So next video, I'm going to talk to you guys about that stupid restriction list, and just Bushiroad just doesn't care, man. This is just, I mean, this is just some BS, man. It really is just some BS. I don't have any other words for what Bushiroad as a company has done to alienate the players themselves, ourselves. It's just wrong. It's wrong. Alright, I'll see you next video.